It's 9 p.m. on a Monday evening, and like kudos to the dedicated artist you all are that you're giving me your 9 p.m. slot on a Monday evening.
There's
Thank
nothing else to do, honestly. So
I
Yes.
couldn't have found a
They're
better
touring
song.
this day, they're touring that day, they're on the move, they're not available. Great, very good things to be thankful for. But yes. So just I want to ask, where are all of you right now? Are you in which city are you?
I'm in Delhi.
I'm in Bombay, Prag's in Bombay.
Great. I'm in Dehradun right now, and if it helps you, I'll tell you guys. I'm actually sitting in a shadi wala ghar to talk to you about a wedding EP. I very selectively सारा सामान मैंने से side में डाल दिया, all the lehengas and the sarees and all the messes right there, and I've just found a clean corner. बच्चों को मैंने ऐसे सोने की दवाइयाँ दे दी हैं so that they don't make that sure and everything. And the dhol wala has also been paid 500 rupees extra for not doing.
I think they'll forgive you after you play the EP to them.
I will. It's decided. It is going in that flute version of Leja, and we are going to talk about it. It is where, in every wedding video, a drop aata hai and the entire montage of dance starts where people are dancing. It is that. Absolutely that. So, okay, I'll just begin that. Thank you so much for joining me, Jay, Prayag, Rishabh. We have Lost Stories. We have Jay, I would really call the new voice from Punjab amongst us. Thank you for joining me. My name is Kanika. I'm a radio jockey and a podcaster. I do a show called Indie Pop 10, where we feature the top 10 independent pop songs, which are also the non-film songs, which is the cursed word for the industry. But really happy to have you guys today. And I'm going to talk about this EP. Before I go to the 3 tracks, I want to ask you, ये नाम आपने कहाँ से लाए हो ये? How is this? It is just so not something that I won't expect from Lost Stories to come up with.
Are you talking about the track names or the EP
No,
name?
I'm talking about the EP name, Marigold Soundystem.
So I think we've always picked like very whack names for our songs and for our albums and stuff like that. Before this we had something called as Bombay. What was it called? Prag? I forgot.
Bombay Dreams. Bombay Dreams.
Not Bombay Dreams. The EP we did before.
The Bombay Electric.
Bombay Electric, and then so Marigold Sounds. What happens now? We finish making the tracks, and then the challenge is to how to name the track. We need to like catch the right word, like the feeling needs to be there. So after the EP was done, like I messaged Jay as well. I messaged Prag, like, what do we call this? And just nothing was fitting in. And then during one of my morning walks, I was just going through Spotify and like looking at, old like 90s 2000s wedding Spotify playlist, and came across Monsoon Wedding, which is yeah. And then went through the playlist and I found like the word like marigold there, and then and sound system came from like all these guys who provide the sound for like not just dhol and not just like the DJ bit, but everything.
Yeah, I'll tell you what it was. Hello, hello, hello. These are the guys.
Like guys doing all the So I mean, we just put like 2 words together and like it sounded cool.
It seemed like Jay, it must be something जो आपने ऐसे वो Jay वो नहीं होते हैं जिया बैंड and ये सारे bands बहुत famous है दिल्ली में wedding band. It sounds like something that one can pick up from there. But you guys you have Jay not just as someone आपने एक गाने में collaborate किया है उनके साथ, all the 3 tracks. He is the soul and the voice behind this track. So you tell me, I'm sure, and I know your love affair with Jay has started before this EP. Yeah. But how did you know that this is the person who will be the voice and soul of your EP?
I think it happened during Mirza. Once we were in the studio, the chemistry was undeniable. Like we just started and finished in 20 minutes. Mirza was actually written in like 20 minutes. Okay. So we were like, why not explore a different genre, which was like these flute drops with Jay. And again, I think we wrote most of these songs in like under a day and or 2. So I think it's easier to work with Jay, and like even for him, I think it's easier to work with us. So
I think whenever we have met Jay, it's been in Bombay. We have always gotten into a studio, like even if we are, say, for example, in a living room, even that converts into a writing session somehow. And Jai being so quick with writing, it's so much fun to be in the room with him and work. So,
Thank you so
the
much.
three tracks that we had, they've been around with us for a very long time. काफी time से थे ये गाने हमारे पास. And then one fine day, we played it to Jai, and I think he loved it. So again, like Rishabh said, he's such a quick writer. Just the initial bit of ideas that he came up with, we were in love with it. And I think a couple of more sessions here and there, a few Zoom calls, and the EP was sort of done.
So Jay, आपने मतलब weddings are something all of us, it's etched in our brains that first wedding we've ever been to and how they have evolved and when they came up with this idea. How much of your observations and everything that you have seen in weddings and Delhi weddings is part of this EP? What were your first thoughts, your first inputs कि ये तो होना ही होना है इसमें?
एक्चुअली ये जब हमने राइटिंग सेशन स्टार्ट करा था तो भाई ने आइडिया दिया था, हमने आइडिया मतलब क्रिएट किया कि इस पर वेडिंग, और बीट सुनकर ही ऐसा आ रहा था कि वेडिंग ही होना चाहिए और कुछ क्यूटनेस होनी चाहिए सॉन्ग्स में। तो हमारा ये मोटिव था कि ना ज्यादा लिरिकल हो और वाइब्स हो। सो जो मतलब उस रूम में बना वो उसी वक्त आया था, थॉट ऐसे कुछ सोच कर नहीं आए थे कि ये बनाएंगे तो।
But that's commendable. I mean, if you think, अगर आपने उसी समय वो thought करा, because as someone who has observed a wedding very closely just 3 weeks back, I've just gotten married 3 weeks back.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. The feelings that you guys have put into songs like Dory and the thought process that you are portraying of a girl who is going to spend some time and is thinking about her lover, they are beautiful. I mean, ये कौन internalize करता है? How could you guys be in that zone? Because it's great vibes, I agree, but it has got great feelings, yaar.
I think at least this is what I believe ki all the ideas, all the songs are already out there and we just have to like put our antenna up and like tune in to the feeling, and that's what happened, I guess. And when we are writing the songs, we are not like, let's write a cool hook or let's write like a cool song.
Yeah.
It was just a very free flowing process. In fact, we're going to be putting out like a making of thing, and it's going to be very boring because it was so free flowing. It was not like, okay, now we're going to get into the hook part, now we're going to get into like the drop and all that. It was just like, stream of consciousness just like flowing. So
Yeah,
I think
pressure bhi hota hai, I feel like, on artist and anyone.
not this time. We were like, we don't want to like please anyone with this. We just want to please ourselves. And because the thing is, honestly speaking, you can't please everyone. So if we just limit it to just 3 of us, that if we like the songs, and maybe even Ayushman, who's our manager, who also got married 3 weeks
Yeah,
ago.
I felt like वो तो perfect BGM था उसकी शादी के लिए. मान की शादी was going on those tracks.
I mean, like, I think the bridal entry was on Ledger, so I mean, we are honored. And so I guess like if usually all 4 of us like the songs we are making, then we just put it out and then see what the reaction is. So it was very free flowing.
I'll tell you a reaction of, as I said, someone who just like got married and then she's listening to the music released on 17th February. And I was like, why did I not have this music like a while ago? And then there in that moment, when I heard Leja, I know कि ये मेरे wedding video में जा रहा है. Like this is the music that I need.
Well, now you know us, so like, for next occasions, you will have tracks beforehand.
Oh, very nice. No, but never sample before release. That's the...
Okay, that's also, yeah.
But I'll ask something, Joe, you and Jay, be very honest with me on this thing. 3 gaane hain. All songs are special. I like all of them and all is there. But which one do you like the most? Which?
तीनों ही अपने बच्चे हैं तो
मैंने पहले ही कहा था, don't give me that, cut that part and come to the point. Which song do you like the most?
Actually, लेजा में हमने कुछ न्यू करा है और वो भी थॉट उसी वक्त आया था, लाइक जो ड्रॉप के बाद है, तो वो मेरे लिए थोड़ा स्पेशल है और ज्यादा. बाकी हर सॉन्ग में हमने
I was not supposed to sing all the 3 songs, but he's like, I want to sing Leja, and he made it very clear. Yeah. So I think that's one of his, like, that's his favorite song.
Jay, ये क्या बात हो रही है? You were not supposed to sing the 3 songs. ये क्या हो रहा है?
And it was not a plan, but like then we were like, we can't. There's no replacement for Jai Dhir. So that's what we thought, because the nostalgia that he brings in his voice.
Yeah.
And the best part is that he has, with his own project, he has a completely different tone. He has a completely different vocabulary. But with this project, he just got like a different part of him that just came out. Even I don't know how it came out. Even I guess even he doesn't know how it came out. So I guess, yeah, I mean, Leja, he delivered like 101%.
I'll tell you something about when I heard you singing Jay, Le Jahi. I mean, there is a way we look at Punjabi music in this country. ठीक है हमारे और हर टाइप का पंजाबी म्यूजिक बन रहा है. And I heard you sing these Punjabi lines and everything. And I was sitting with a friend of mine when we were listening to the song. And my friend said, you know, this guy makes Punjabi sounds like it's Hindi in cursive.
That's very true. I
I was
think,
like, what? I was like, just say it again. He's like, this guy just made me delve into, and you know, that person was one of those कि मुझे पंजाबी music नहीं सुनना, I'm sick of it and this and that. But
yeah.
it didn't feel like the typical sound at all from your voice and the way you brought the song.
I think he made it very digestible for like non-Punjabi audiences. So yeah.
It was Hindi in cursive, yeah, to remember.
यही मोटिव रहता है.
I love the artwork as well. When you talk about nostalgia, even before I listen to the songs, it's the artwork that is exactly communicating what you're trying to tell through your songs.
Yeah.
How creatively involved are you two? Like Prayag, I want to know from you, like, do you care about these things to the T? This should symbolize this.
I think we all do, and we all have to, just to have the right communication out. Marigold Soundystem, when you hear it, and then when you look at the artwork, it definitely makes sense, right? There is this confluence between the artwork and the sound. And Rishabh and I, we both have taken a lot of influence from the late 90s, early 2000 Bollywood movies, right? So that's where the inspiration comes from. It sort of reminds you of DDLJ, right? When you look at the artwork. So I think Rishabh and I'm pretty sure even Jai, we all try and take inspiration from a lot of things around us, especially from our childhood, whenever we put out any project for that matter. And I think in this day and age, it has become absolutely important to package everything well, right? Everything needs to work hand in hand.
You know, when I saw the artwork, I mean, the day the EP released, I was just thinking, wow, 3 din pehle, there's a show which was dropped called Romantics, where DDLJ was again such a talked topic.
Yeah.
It was trending again on Twitter. And then I saw his artwork. I was like, okay.
Our artwork is actually, it's called Matchbox art. So we used to get those Matchboxes back in the day. So it's like, it's made in such a way. And the artist also that who we work with, the genius. I mean, I think his Instagram handle is Adarsh Balak. And, and he's such a genius.
He's a famous one.
He's very famous.
Yeah.
And I mean, he just like, there has never been a time where he had to give us a second draft. It's usually the first draft and like it's locked. So yeah, I mean, we are so blessed to be working with like all these geniuses on like this EP.
So, I saw how you are even describing the EP, like Marigold Soundystem resonates the many elements that an Indian wedding brings. And we've spoken about the music. Jay, meko aapse पूछना है. You're sitting in Delhi. So I want to know about Delhi weddings, which I'm sure हर 2 दिन में आपके घर के नीचे से एक बारात चल रही होगी. अभी इतनी शादियां होती हैं.
बहुत हो रही है. Yeah.
ठीक है. There are too many elements that we can pen down right now about Indian weddings. But what are those elements जो आपके दिमाग में सबसे पहले आते हैं when I talk about an Indian wedding and an Indian Punjabi wedding?
Indian Punjabi wedding. मेरे दिमाग में thought जागो. You know about जागो? Like एक रस्म होती है पंजाबी wedding में.
Right?
Yeah, I've
like उस पर मोस्टली उस जागो को लेकर कोई सॉन्ग नहीं है और एक मिलनी को लेकर सॉन्ग नहीं है. मिलनी माइंड में आती है और है तो काफी टिपिकल है जो नॉन पंजाबीज को नहीं समझ आते.
Milni,
तो
I know.
बस
I think Milni every North Indian knows. It's the
हाँ
biggest pain point of a wedding.
so बाकी वेडिंग में क्या है कि लड़की की पर्सपेक्टिव से जो मैंने लिखा था वो इसीलिए लिखा था क्योंकि उससे ज्यादा कनेक्ट कर पाती हैं गर्ल्स एक्चुअली। लड़के इतना नहीं कर पाते, बट लड़की के पर्सपेक्टिव से वेडिंग का कुछ लिखो तो वो ज्यादा कनेक्ट कर पाते हैं। सो
सब लोग, मुझे लगता है everyone in a wedding, whoever attends a wedding just feels what a girl is feeling. सब लोग लड़की वाले ही होते हैं, मेरे को तो यही लगता है. Even when you're representing your friend, you're from the groom side, when you see girl, you're like, oh my god, you understand what she's going through.
लाइक बॉयज का क्या है कि वेडिंग वेडिंग से अगर दिमाग में कुछ पहले आता है तो वो आता है ला के तेने पैग बदली है, तो वो तो नहीं लिखना था। सो इसलिए लड़की की पर्सपेक्टिव से ज्यादा सही है।
So why do I feel, Jay, where you're sitting, Abhi, for the, like, do you have a piano or something with you? Are you sitting in a,
यस यस यस
right, right? You can hum
Yes.
your favorite parts for us here.
फॉर श्योर। वेट
Great. And then I'm going to talk to you, Prayag and Rishabh. I want to ask about your love story, okay? I know the Lost Stories has been going on since many, many years.
Yeah.
This is the most important love story I'm interested in. But after we listen to Jay's song,
You got it.
go for it, Jay.
वेट
If you can give me a little intro also, na, hi, mera naam Jay hai, and you're listening to this song from my EP, then I can take that part and use it as like a proper, like a radio
ओके
cap.
वेट उसका मैं
So whenever you're ready, Jay, let us know. Whenever you're ready, we can continue. आप मुझे बताना. We can go and we can wrap up with you singing as well. That's fine.
एक्चुअली वायर्स कनेक्ट नहीं है अभी। वेट
That's fine. That's fine. No pressure on you.
Yeah.
You can go as raw, but later. Like, it's only for fun.
Yeah.
Nothing. Don't
Sure.
bother. So yeah, Parayag and Rishabh, is it true that you guys met online?
Yeah.
Like, are you two the first person in each other's life you have right swiped on?
There was no swipe that time. I mean, there
But this
was
is like
pre-swipe era.
internet approvals.
Yeah, no, I mean, this was like, I mean, the website on which we met is shut now, so you can imagine how long ago that was. So yeah.
So Prayag, I want to know from you, since it's very evident you're the one who talks less. I want to know that online meeting with your longest partner relationship that has been going on, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's been more than a decade. Honestly, I think this was in 2006, maybe, or maybe even earlier than that, when we first met. And like Rishabh said, वो site भी बंद हो चुकी है. But we did meet on a community platform where we, sort of understood that we have a common interest for music, right? Or at that point of time, I think in India, there were not a lot of music producers communities, right? So there were very few selected ones, and those who knew about those communities were already a part of it. So that's where we met. That's where we started exchanging ideas. And the idea was never to come together and work, right? मतलब तभी ऐसे ही था कि okay, why don't you listen to my track, give me feedback, and I can do the same. क्योंकि the community was so small. But yeah, I mean, that's how we met. Then we took that conversation away from that community platform, I think on MSN. MSN was big.
I know MSL.
We know, we lived through MSN days. Yeah, so I think the conversation was pretty smooth from there. But yeah, I think ये बहुत जूनी बात है. It's very difficult to remember the details, but this was definitely, I think, 14 years ago, 14 or 15 years ago.
17, I guess, if it was 2006 and I think we're 2023. So yeah.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, I did the math while you were saying. Okay. When it was a decade ago, I was like, why are you underplaying this partnership? But okay. So you guys met, and I knew that you met online, and hence I can vouch for it. And the way I said that, you're the first people you've right swiped in your life. And from then to be in a relationship that you are, may these years continue and everything. And I am a fan from, music for the hashtag, I have heard that. So I was, and for me, I'll tell you, and that's why I want to ask you guys, you came together, you started making music, and to be as honest as I can, make वो music जो India के लिए is not the first kind of music they listen to. The
Yeah.
first, yeah, and I'm sure ऐसे आपको बहुत सारे लोग मिले होंगे रास्ते में जिन्होंने आपको कहा होगा कि यार ये नहीं चलता यहाँ पे.
Yeah.
So you let me know, matlab you tell me that how is it for you to, you had each other, and just want to know from the time you started to the place where you are, where you're the most respected electronic music duo, not electronic, I'm so sorry, the DJ music producers, the dance music duo, like the most popular one from India, the ones that you are. How do you see that evolution happening?
I mean, it's been a lot of ups and downs, honestly, and like every I don't know, it's been a lot of ups and downs, but like I think we just keep saying this in all the interviews, like there has been a lot of rejection, and there's still rejection going on, but I mean, as long as we have each other, like when no one else is clapping for us, we are clapping for each other, and like now we have like a great team in place, who keeps us grounded also, and who keeps us on the right track, so speaking about the evolution, we've always tried to like evolve in a way that can set an example for the new generation of music producers that are coming in. That's one of the reasons why we set up an academy as well. And I think
I
everyone
wanted
keeps
to
asking,
ask you about like what is your vision and the future of Lost Stories Academy?
yeah, Prayag will get into that. But yeah, I mean, I guess if everyone like keeps asking us what's the goal that we have with Lost Stories, it's just one thing is we have to leave a legacy behind, and that's what we are working towards. So, and we can already see it because like every time there's a cool new producer who's coming up, and I go to his Instagram or I go to his YouTube, and there's already the Lost Stories name on it that I grew up listening to them and stuff like that. So it makes us feel really, really honored, and we just want to like keep doing this for that particular reason.
I was just seeing how fondly Jay was listening to you, like, that I resonate is ye har artist ki kahani hai. And Jay, I'm sure, I mean, you feel all these emotions. It's not easy in India to break through as a vocalist.
Yeah.
With internet enabling us, internet ne clutter bhi bahut kara hai. There are discoverability is an issue because everyone has that platform right now. But you are a breakthrough voice, and you know that. I heard your Punjabi version of Kesariya, absolutely fell in love with it.
Thank you.
How have you been receiving all these things, that everyone dreams of?
Like पहले तो इतना नहीं था, कॉन्फिडेंस भी नहीं था, बट स्टार्ट कर दिया था. सो स्टार्ट किया, कुछ सॉन्ग्स अपलोड किए यूट्यूब पर, और मतलब ऑडियो प्लेटफॉर्म्स पर भी नहीं थे. तो पहले मैं लाइव करता था क्लब्स में, लाइक ओपन माइक्स. सो अपना जब फर्स्ट सॉन्ग मैंने लिखा, उसके बाद कुछ 2 सॉन्ग्स मैंने अपलोड किए. उस पर रिस्पॉन्स अच्छा आया व्हाट्सएप एंड फेसबुक शेयरिंग से ही, और कमेंट्स ने मुझे बहुत ज़्यादा कॉन्फिडेंस दे दिया कि मैं कुछ कर सकता हूँ इसको लेकर. सो मैंने फिर राइटिंग स्टार्ट करी थी. तो लिखने का मेरा एक प्लस पॉइंट हो गया उस वक्त. अगर मैं नहीं लिखना स्टार्ट करता तो लाइक क्या है कि आवाज तो ठीक है, बट लिखना मेरे लिए सबसे ज्यादा बेनिफिशियल रहा है. तो उसके बाद फिर सॉन्ग्स अपलोड किए. उसके बाद एक मैंने स्नैप अपलोड किया. स्नैप जब अपलोड किया, स्नैप की वजह से मैं ऋषभ एंड प्रयाग भाई से मिला. सो स्नैप उन्हें बहुत पसंद आया था, और हम फिर रिमिक्स भी हुआ उसका. तो काफी अच्छा लगता है जब ऐसा लाइक अचानक. मैं बहुत अच्छा फील हुआ था जब मैं भाई को जानता भी नहीं था, और भाई ने बस सॉन्ग सुना और फटाफट ऐसे रिमिक्स करके मेरे को एक कट आया संकल्प भाई के थ्रू. मैं बिल्कुल ऐसे वो पागल हो गया था. मैंने कहा ये क्या कर दिया सॉन्ग, वाओ. सो काफी अच्छा लगता है.
This is something जो आप लोगों के साथ भी हुआ है, right, Rishabh? Like your tracks have been used by people you never thought, and they've reached people
That's
that.
crazy. Like you were just telling us that you listen to the music for the hashtag generation, because I was just going through the Spotify plays, and there are like one play in like 1 year. I'm guessing that's you. Because It's
I
crazy.
have heard.
It's crazy that, the reach where like, I mean, I can't even believe like where all our music is reaching. And like, for the first time, like we have audience in Ludhiana, because of the Punjabi EP now. We are neither like I mean, I'm not married, I'm not a Punjabi, but yet like we are making these wedding EP in Punjabi, and like it's reaching those people. So it's crazy.
And it is, that's why I was saying that the sound and everything, it's so unlike what I have started listening to, or I was listening to as Lost Stories. And yeah, I mean, you have your own style of music and which is defined and you drive it. लेकिन मैं ना आपको एक बहुत ही common issue पे अगर आपसे बात करती हूँ, जो मतलब in the music industry is very well debated and everything, which is remixes in itself. Okay, you as someone who beautifies songs by remixes and you make your own, you put your own soul and your own style in a remix, to a place where a lot of people despise remixes, that it's killing the original song. How do you look at this debate कि छोड़ दो ना गाने को, क्यों नया version बनाना है? How do you take it?
Look, remixes have been the biggest movers for us. Like, we have made like quite a few originals, but we have also made like a lot of remixes. Both Prag and I, we have grown up listening to Harry Anand, Suketu, DJ Akil and all that. And back in the day, remixing meaning was like you could just put like a loop under, I mean, no disrespect to these people, if they didn't do what they did, we wouldn't be here, because we heard their music and we are like, okay, this is how they do it. But when it comes to remixing for us, we अगर वो ऐसे comment नहीं आया ना कि this is better than the original, तो वो next remix बनेगा ही नहीं. So every time we make something, we want to make sure that we don't take away from the essence of the original, but we bring in like 100% of Lost Stories in it. So I mean, be it a remix for Jai or be it a remix for Marshmallow, we just want to do something different. We want to stay authentic, but also like not mess around with like the original like soul of the song. So yeah, I mean, that we love remixing. In fact, I was just telling Prag we should do more remixes now that we have like so many singles lined up already. We should think about like doing some more remixes now.
So
I think also the entire concept of remixing has changed over a period of time, right? Like, I think a lot of new age producers, they remix because it's easier than to make an original track. But the idea is to bring something unique to the table whenever you remix, which is what I think we understood at an earlier in our career. And like Rishabh said, we enjoy remixing. That's also because we like to bring LS sound to it. So a lot of people who don't like remixes, they're probably hearing tracks which
Bad remixes. Yeah.
yeah, so no, I remember, and I would say that I'll admit that few years back, when I say few, it's 5 to 6 years back, I was that person on that side of the table who will talk about preserving the originality of the song and everything and all. To a time that I am at a place where I realize remixes and recreation are separate things. Remixes are, it's a completely new track, and I've like, if I talk about your Faded, it's the way you go and you take me through that Indian feeling in that Faded. It's so unique to you, and it has nothing to do. It is a very unique experience, and I think where the current winds are shifting towards recreation is like that anger is coming out in people. But you're right. Over the years, industry में ये shift आते हैं. मैं तो Bombay Vikings को भी बहुत वो देती हूँ, पता है, credit देती हूँ.
Yeah, 100%. Like, Wo Chali, Chhod Do Achal, these were like the songs that we grew up listening to.
They have made a new audience for, मतलब जो audience पता नहीं था ना कि इंडिया में exist करती है, उन्होंने उसे identify किया, उन्होंने उसे map किया है.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't get one thing is that just because a recreation or a remix comes out doesn't mean the original gets deleted from the ecosystem. वो भी है. So people can always go listen to it instead of like wasting their energy on saying this is not good and like we should preserve the original and all that, because it's always there. I mean, it all comes down to your taste and it all comes down to like what you like to listen to, So I guess that's one thing that we are also trying to change. Just because there's a remix doesn't mean the original is deleted. It's not replaced. It's just remixed. So
I completely agree, and I'm with you on that. Now you tell me now, I'll come back to Marigold Soundsystems and that you've added 3 beautiful songs to this big ecosystem of wedding songs, which according to you is the most trademark wedding song in India. Jay, I'll go with you. Like, ये तो बजना ही बजना, ये तो आएगा ही आएगा. I know, and from what I gather, you guys have heard a lot of 90s and 2000s music, all of you. So I'm sure there has to be one song.
Leja.
Yeah, I was hoping you would say that.
Futuristic, optimistic. I like that.
Manifesting it.
Manifesting it.
लेजा मुझे लगता है लाइक रिजल्ट्स में भी लेजा सबसे अभी आगे आगे है ना भाई. हाँ आगे. तो
For
लेजा
you,
बजेगा.
will be that song, Rishabh.
I honestly hate weddings. I don't go to weddings, so I don't know what works. And सबसे ज़्यादा offers, like I only get कि किसी का शादी है, so I have to edit those songs together. So I hate, that's the worst process, you know, for me, because like I have to, it's the same songs that are working since like, I think the last how many ever years. So I don't know. I mean, I don't have a favorite song because I've been to just 3 or 4 weddings in my life. So that too forcefully. So yeah, I hate weddings. I can't.
Have
Like,
you tried something called Shadi Ka Khana?
I have, yeah, I have. I mean, that's no, even Ayushman's wedding I didn't eat. Can you believe it? So,
भाई लेट पहुंचते हैं.
so I just try to. I think Prag's wedding and yeah, and Ayushman's wedding are the only 2 weddings I've attended in like the last how many ever years.
Oh my God. It'll take me a while to digest.
Now you're like thinking, how did we end up making like a wedding EP without like going to weddings, you know?
I was going to use some sarcastic lines that ladies and gents, the maker of Marigold Soundsystems, but I didn't. But आपने खुद ही कर दिया.
No. I don't. I've never attended a wedding apart from like these 2. So I don't have a favorite song or like, yeah. Prag, I'm sure you have.
Prag, you have to tell me now. Come on.
Yeah, I think any track by Sukhwinder Singh, for example, it's a short thing, right? Whether it's a Punjabi wedding or whether it's a normal wedding, bajna hi bajna hai.
Yeah.
I think Rishabh has never attended a wedding. I've attended too many weddings, so it's all like a mix. But yeah, I think those, the top 10 tracks jo bajte hi hai, and I think after a point of it doesn't matter, in any wedding.
Zones out. Everyone zones out.
Everyone zones out. Yeah, but Sukhwinder for sure. I think
Jazzy B also.
Jazzy B
song. Yeah.
I'm going to give TMI because I'm liking. मुझे मजा आ रहा है क्योंकि अभी हम लेजा वगैरह के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. Nobody asked me, but मैं बताती हूँ that what song did I use at my wedding? I'll tell you. So I have a feeling कि मुझे लगता है कि when lyrics आ जाते हैं तो things get a little disturbed. जो मुझे लगता था. I like music. So what the music I used was लव शफ्ते चिकन खुराना का जो थीम म्यूजिक है जो अमित त्रिवेदी ने कंपोज किया. It's just an instrumental. It's the typical Amit Trivedi sound.
Yeah, I think Amit is a king of like a lot of wedding songs, Yeah. I mean, Devdi, the album, like there's a song called Paeliya, Dhol Yara Dhol. Yeah, so these are like, at the Marigold Soundsystem was like inspired from Devdi album. So, we can say like he's a king of like wedding songs.
Yeah. Like how was it inspired from him?
So like the initial piano riff of Leja and all, it's very like inspired from Dhol Yara Dhol. And in like that was a starting point of Leja. So and now that's what I mean, like sometimes we don't know, like we internalize so many of these songs and they just come out in different ways. So I mean, yeah, Devdi was a major inspiration.
He was a game shifter again. He tapped into an audience people didn't know exist for the Indian music industry. And
Legend.
I'll just give you a very unwanted trivia. Devdi as an album was made as an independent album by Amit. वो उनके पास tracks ready थे.
Correct, yeah.
And I was like, oh my, every time I think about it, I was like, that guy had made that entire album. He met Anurag Kashyap, who liked the songs, and then the songs were used in the movie. It was not the other way around.
That also brings us to the topic that if they were written specifically for the movie, it would have been very different,
Yeah.
So it's like something just clicked, and it just. And I think Amit and I mean, again, trivia, unwanted trivia. Both of us have a background in playing at Navratris. So like, I've grown up playing at Navratris, like playing percussion at the back. He was also. So when I met him, I told him that. So again, he was like a little taken aback that how does this guy know about this firstly, but I've like memorized all his interviews and stuff like that. So I mean, he's been such an inspiration, and like and not just for this EP, but like for whatever we do, like he's a major inspiration.
So, because we were discussing about Devdi, I want to ask you, both of you, you have so many songs out there. बहुत सारे लोगों को पसंद है, even like Marigold Sound System. Tell me if someone comes to tomorrow, Anurag Kashyap comes and he's telling you that I want to use your music. Is this something you'll be okay with, or something you look forward to, or what will be your
We
reaction?
think about it every day. We like, आज तो आ जाएगा Anurag का
Okay,
call.
manifesting it, guys. Yeah, let's manifest this now.
I think
This
we
is
need a lot more people to manifest and probably like find a way to put this message across to him and a few other people that we really look up to.
Yeah, whenever you get like a call from like an unknown number, like say from Chennai, like I'm already assuming the सामने वाला will be like, hi, this is A.R. Rahman from Chennai. But actually वो loan का call होता है, and I have to just like disconnect it. So every day, like this is happening every day, that if I wish like someone calls and be like, we want to use your songs for our movie. But yeah, I mean, hopefully this year.
I have a
Something will.
little manifestation diary where I write 2-3 things. I promise you I'm going to write it. I'm going to
Please,
do it. I'm with you guys.
Please.
if you think the songs are worthy enough for
I
the
do.
movie.
Ledger
Yeah.
needs to, and I'm telling you, there has to be a breakthrough montage where the protagonist just starts dancing. It's that track. Meri wedding film mein, I am that protagonist in my head. I am the heroine.
Yeah, I mean, we'll make you look good with the soundtrack. Don't worry.
That's true. Now, Jay, I think it's time. You have to go as raw.
Wire connect
Okay.
हो गया, bro?
वो करना पड़ेगा उसके लिए हटना पड़ेगा बस कुछ थोड़ा सा मैं रॉ
कैसे
ही
नहीं
कर
चलेगा
सकता
यार? You come on, go for it.
ठीक है
It's just friends.
ओके सो लेजा का जो सबसे बेस्ट पार्ट मुझे लगता है एंड सो वो करता हूँ पता मैनू तू नहीं आना बस कर हुण तड़पाना आके मैनू दस जाके कसूर है मेरा होई परेशान होना कर ले ख्याल होना कोई तैनू पाउण लई मरदा पिया Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Legend.
Thank you, man. You didn't need any wire and everything. I was telling
Your wire is already connected.
talent. Okay,
Thank
so
you so
I
much.
think we will need to wrap up in a bit. So I know we are above time. I'll just quickly wrap up. But one bit that I want from each one of you is all of you have been at a point where you were those new artists and you were putting your own music. एक एडवाइस जो आप आज के aspiring musicians, aspiring independent artists को देना चाहोगे, वो क्या होगा? Rishabh, I'll start with you.
I keep saying this in all the interviews that best advice I can give is like don't follow any advice, because all advice is very autobiographical. Like what worked for
Yeah.
us might not work for you. But I mean that being said, like if you want me to give some generic advice like be yourself and like all that, then I can. But yeah, I mean this is the advice that like I keep giving. Even like if there's a student, we just tell them that you don't have to be the next Lost Story, or you don't have to be the next Badsha. You just have to be you, and like no one else can be you as much as you can be you. So that's the best advice that I have for the people.
Yeah, if you have any, for sure.
I spend a lot of time at the academy, and trust me, this is, pretty much what we do day in and day out. But I think, one thing is, as a new artist, they shouldn't really wait for the right time. There is no right time. The idea is to put music out as soon as possible once you're confident with it and once you have done the basic checks. This is something which I think I personally have noticed when I meet a lot of upcoming producers, that they wait for the right time or the right thing to happen, and then spending so much time sitting on the music, it becomes static. So just don't wait for the right time, because there is no right time. Just leave.
I think this is an advice for both of us also. We have so much music waiting to be released. So yeah, I mean, let's not wait for any right time. And like you, Jay and us have like so many more tracks. So this is just the beginning.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
we were talking about Devdi, and because you're talking about the new artist, again, one information I would want to give you.
Please.
You know, there's this track called Yahi Meri Zindagi.
Yeah.
Devdi, Aditi Singh Sharma, she sung it. She was new in Bombay looking for work.
Oh.
And she didn't know anyone. कोई उन्हें गाना गाने का मौका नहीं दे रहा था. So उन्होंने क्या किया? उन्होंने एक CD पे अपनी आवाज रिकॉर्ड करी कुछ गानों में. And that CD she has taken to every big music producer, director के घर. उनके घर के बाहर के मेल बॉक्स में उन्होंने डाली हुई है. कितने लोगों के? And for years she's done that. She's like, I will not wait for anyone to come to me. And
Yeah.
dropped that CD. And one fine day, many years later, she gets a call from who? 80.
That's insane.
And I was like, oh God, and that's what I have. I believe that, you know, whenever I feel like this is the dipping moment, kuch nahi hone wala, I always go back to Aditi's story and I feel like, I don't know where will I get that call from. So let me just.
I think Prayag and I have done a similar thing, but like we did that in Amsterdam. We used to go with our CDs, like leave it in like, you know, different venues and stuff like that, hoping like some big DJ would pick it up and like call us. And, you know, luckily, like the CDs thing didn't work, but like something else worked out, you know. So you never know. You just have to put yourself out there. So yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I think a lot of vocal artists and singers and writers, they resonate with you. They want to be you right now. They want to be in your shoes, who has been discovered. So for safe, if that is the word. आप उसको क्या बोलना चाहोगे यार? बहुत हताश है जनता.
लाइक मैं ये बोलना चाहूंगा कि क्या लोग क्या करते हैं ना, कुछ आर्टिस्ट, मतलब मैं किसी को डिसरिस्पेक्ट नहीं कर रहा हूँ, कि अगर कोई एक उठता है तो लाइक वो अपना जोन छोड़कर वो जोन पकड़ लेते हैं कि लाइक मुझे ये बनना है, मुझे ऐसे करना है. तो ये बहुत गलत चीज है और बहुत गलत थिंकिंग है. तो ये ना रखो तो लाइक, और कुछ चीजें पॉजिटिव भी होती हैं कि जैसे अगर मैं, सबने देखा है मुझे, मेरे लाइक दिल्ली के जो साथ के आर्टिस्ट हैं, जो मतलब सिर्फ मुझे सुनते ही हैं, जो इंस्टाग्राम पर हैं, हर जगह, तो उनके अंदर भी मैंने कॉन्फिडेंस देखा है कि लाइक यार ये जीरो से ऐसे ब्लो कर रहा है, ब्लो अप कर रहा है, और तो हम भी कर सकते हैं. तो वो कॉन्फिडेंस बहुत, अगर मेरी वजह से कोई कॉन्फिडेंट हो रहा है तो बहुत अच्छी बात है. सो ये सबसे बेस्ट थिंग मुझे लगी अभी तक. काफी लोग इंस्पायर हो रहे हैं उस चीज से, तो काफी अच्छा लगता है, काफी ज्यादा अच्छा लगता है. तो यही बोलना चाहूंगा बस.
Thank you so much, Jay. I don't know why you're so shy about things, but that's so cute. I hear that in your voice as well. And thank you actually to each one of you for giving me this time, and really loved speaking to you. Ab to lag raha hai ki should have made you take that car and come down to the studios, but
Well,
hopefully,
now that we know that we can talk for hours and hours, you know, let us know. We'll do another one.
yeah, sure.
Next EP is coming anyway, so like let's
Let's do that. Let's do that. Thank you so much, everyone.